Hello, hi students. My name is Kamulegeya. I'm a teacher of chemistry. Today we're here to discuss about metals. Last time when I was here, we discussed about the physical properties of metals, and basically today we're going to look at the chemical properties of metals by using our reactivity series, as you can see on the blackboard. We know that metals have different chemical properties which we are going to discuss here. I can list them out here because we know that metals have the ability to lose electrons so that they can form positive ions, which are known as cations. We know that metals have the ability to form ionic compounds with nonmetals. We know that metals have the ability to react with oxygen to form oxides. And basically, they will give us what we call the basic oxides or amphoteric oxides. Also, we know that these metals have the ability to react with acids to give us a salt and the hydrogen gas. We are going to see how these properties work. Now, these elements, they are arranged in order of their reactivity. Many scientists made so many experiments so that they can arrange these elements in order of their reactivity. And that's what I'm going to look at today. As you can see on my blackboard, I have what called the reactivity series of elements. Now, this reactivity series was used to arrange elements in order of their reactivity. You're going to see that we have elements which we arrange elements from the more reactive going to the least reactive. As you can see, we have potassium to gold, meaning that potassium is going to be more reactive than gold, implying that we shall say that the elements which are up this side, we shall call them most reactive. And the elements which are down here, we shall call them least reactive. The higher the position of the element, the more reactive it will be, and the lower the position of the element, the least reactive will be. Meaning that this potassium is going to be more reactive than gold here. As you can see, these elements are arranged in this order. We have potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, tin, lead, hydrogen. Now, hydrogen is a non-metal, but we include it there. I'll explain why we put hydrogen there. We have copper, silver, and gold. And you might see here, some textbook for them, they're going to add their carbon. Carbon will go around here, I think. But carbon, for me, I'm going to include it here. Reason being, carbon, we take it as a metalloid. It's not a full metal. Therefore, it can act as a non-metal sometimes. That's why it doesn't appear in our reactivity series, as you can see. Now, these elements, they are very useful in chemistry. You need to memorize them when you're going to deal with any type of chemical reaction. Is it okay, my dear students? Meaning that you need to get ways of memorizing these elements. That's why we came up with the mnemonics which we can use to memorize these elements in an example. Take an example. Here we have, please stop calling me a zebra. Instead, tell Liz how copper strengthens gold. You see this mnemonics here, we can use it to memorize our reactivity series. As it moves as please stop calling me a zebra. Instead, tell Liz how copper strengthens gold. How does it work? It works like this. I take the first alphabet, take the first letter to represent my compound. In this case, P, I take P. P stands for potassium, S stands for sodium, C stands for calcium, M stands for magnesium, A stands for aluminium, Z stands for zinc, I stands for iron, T stands for tin, L stands for lead, H stands for hydrogen, C stands for copper, S stands for silver, whereas G stands for gold. That's how it works. For you, my dear students, just try to memorize this one here. If you memorize this one here, it becomes easier for you to write the reactivity series of these elements. Please stop calling me a zebra. Instead, tell Liz how copper strengthens gold. It's something very simple and interesting. If you memorize this one here, it becomes easier for you to write these elements. And you will see, writing chemical equations, it will be much easier because you know that this one is more reactive than this one. Therefore, they can undergo the displacement, and then you get the product so easily. Now, these elements are divided into groups. If you look at the first three elements, if I draw my line here, these first three elements, we have potassium, sodium, and calcium. For them, they are very, 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 very reactive. Meaning that these elements, they can't exist in the atmosphere on their own as sodium, as calcium, as potassium. Reason being, for them, the moment they go in the atmosphere, they undergo a chemical reaction. They can't stay on their own. That's why in the laboratory, these elements, we normally keep them in oil. You can't find a tin of sodium just there without oil into it, because this oil prevents the contact of sodium in the atmosphere. Because for them, the moment they smell to the atmosphere, they undergo a chemical reaction, and they are very reactive, meaning that their reaction is very vigorous. They react very fast. They are very explosive elements. That's why we keep them under oil to prevent or to minimize their chemical reactions. Therefore, we shall say these elements, they are very reactive. Is that okay? Now, we have another group. We have a group from magnesium, aluminium, zinc, lead, tin, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, tin, lead. Now these ones, we shall call them, these ones here, also they are reactive, but not so reactive as compared to the first three. And for this one, we shall say they are moderate reactive. They are moderate. They are moderately reactive. For these ones, for them, they are going to be moderately reactive. They are reactive, but not as reactive as the first three elements. We shall take them as moderately reactive. And now, we have hydrogen. This hydrogen, for it, it's a non-metal, therefore we shall not discuss about it. We shall leave it in its own group, but we use it also to determine our chemical reaction. Because so that these elements, they react with an acid to give us hydrogen gas. Meaning that any element which is above hydrogen can displace it in the chemical reaction to give hydrogen. Like if you use HCl and you are reacting it with lead, lead is more reactive than hydrogen. Meaning that lead will displace hydrogen in HCl to give us a salt or lead chloride and hydrogen gas. But now the elements which are below hydrogen, meaning that for them they can't displace it in its chemical formula. Meaning that copper, zinc, silver, and gold, for them they do not react with acids to produce hydrogen gas. In simple terms, for them they do not react with acids. Reason being, for them they are below hydrogen in the reactivity series, meaning that an element which is below hydrogen can't displace hydrogen. Are you getting that? The element in the lower position can displace the element in the upper position. Meaning that copper can displace hydrogen, also silver can displace hydrogen. The same thing, gold can displace hydrogen. Therefore, we shall say these elements, for them, they do not react with dilute acids. These elements, for them, they will never react with the dilute acids because they are below hydrogen. Therefore, they can't displace hydrogen from their chemical compounds or chemical formulas. That's what basically we have discussed. This is what we have talked about in the previous series. Learning all, we are together, my dear students. We have seen how elements they are being arranged and how they are being divided. We have seen the first three elements. For them, they are very reactive and they react vigorously. They react very fast with an acid. Whereas the next group of elements, which is magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, tin, and lead, for them their reaction is moderate. They are reactive, but they are not as fast as the first three elements. Then we say that the last group of elements, which is copper, silver, and gold, for them they are least reactive. In simple terms, for them they can't react with hydrogen. They can't react with the dilute acids to produce hydrogen. Reason being, for them they are below hydrogen and they can't displace hydrogen in their chemical series. Now here, we need to talk about something important. We have aluminium. This aluminium has an unusual behavior. Reason being, this aluminium undergoes oxidation so easily and is one of the most used elements, because you're going to see most of the saucepans we have at home, they're made of aluminium. Most of the utensils we have at home, they're made of what? Aluminium. Reason being, aluminium undergoes oxidation so easily, and that's the reason why when you get aluminium layer, this aluminium layer, when it undergoes oxidation, this aluminium will form a layer. If this is my aluminium, and this aluminium is exposed to air, it undergoes what we call oxidation, due to the definition of aluminium oxide. This aluminium oxide is going to coat itself around the aluminium. Therefore, this aluminium oxide is going to be a coating. And this aluminium oxide is unreactive. If it's unreactive, it's going to protect our aluminium which is inside. And this is why aluminium will work for years and years. Reason being, it has a coating which is preventing the further reaction to take place. Though it has high ability of oxidation and it undergoes oxidation so easily than any other element here. My dear students, let me hope this short video has been of good use to you. Please feel free to share this information to other students, and feel free to come back to watch more videos concerning chemistry when we are discussing or making concept or we are trying to make chemistry as simpler as possible. Please, my dear students, subscribe to my channel so that you can get more videos from us. Thank you for watching.